Hi everybody, it's Mark Messier, and you're listening to Blueshirt
Underground Show,
the #1 Rangers podcast. Make sure you tune in to find out all the latest news. Let's go Rangers!
Blueshirt Underground, motherfucker! Can't BS a Ranger fan. Can't BS a Ranger fan.
This is an unlawful gathering. This is an unlawful gathering. The truth is out there. The truth is out there.
This is the underground. This is new media. This is the underground. This is new media.
Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar. Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar.
And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers. And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers.
This is New York Rangers hockey. 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 This is New York.
Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year. I can still say that on January 6th because we haven't seen you since last week. I know some people complain if you Happy New Year to them, if you Happy New Year them too late. You are watching the one and only Blueshirt Underground show live here on Facebook. My name is Jim, and joining me to my right, or actually I'd have to point the opposite way. There he is. He's over on the other side tonight. The one and only Eddie Geik. Eddie, looking sharp. Did you get a new camera too? I like the new microphone. Did you get a new camera?
No, I think it's just, I don't know. It's working on all cylinders right now.
Looking good, man. You're in like 4K over there.
Oh, really? Maybe
Yeah.
I think I just got some spray cleaner. And cleaned off the lens.
Got lights going on behind you. You got Ranger
I got
paraphernalia.
my Let's Go Rangers lights that goes Let's Go Rangers. Yeah, we're gonna have more stuff. This is just, I got a lot of this stuff for Christmas. Freaking
Nice.
others, you've been donning the professional look, and I've been looking like a gamer guy on the other end of the glass with my
I like that.
Logitech.
I like that microphone boom you got going on there.
I'm looking pretty professional, even though I'm a complete amateur. Not at podcasting, though. I would say that I'm pretty well seasoned.
I think I would say as you are as well. Good evening, everybody out in the chat room there. Today is Monday, January 6th, in case I didn't get to that. The Rangers.
Woo!
The Rangers, my friends. Swept away in Western Canada, just like always, it seems like.
What did I say before we left? Let's establish a winning streak. Let's keep this thing going. And what happens?
They established a streak.
Yes.
You did say let's get on a winning streak, right? You didn't just say let's get on a streak.
I don't know what I said, but it's just got down to toilet sits. I mean, from soup to nuts, this team has not looked well.
The early goals. They went through this problem a couple of years ago under AV where they couldn't get through the first minute or two without giving up a goal, and now it's happening again. And it doesn't matter who's in goal, so it's not like I could just say, oh, Georgiev sucks the first 2 minutes of the game or Hank sucks the first 3 minutes of the game. It's both of them. I mean, was it the Edmonton game? And forgive me, I'm going to do the best I can here. These West Coast games, I've tried to watch as much as of it I could, and then I watch recaps and replays. But was it the Edmonton game that Edmonton scored off the opening faceoff? Was that the Edmonton game?
That was pretty quick, yes.
And then Calgary, I think, scored about 4 minutes into the game. The Rangers gave us a little break there. They let us get settled in on that one. I think that was
Game
about 4
bad
minutes
that
into the
night.
game. And I forget what Vancouver did.
It was
But
pretty
it's
early too, probably.
it's not good. It's not good. Vancouver scored a minute and a half into the game. That's right. Antoine Roussel, who has always been a thorn in the Rangers' side.
I think Dominic Roussel also was a thorn in our side as a goalie. But it's funny, we're simpatico on this because I was almost going to put Jeff Diamond on the task of getting a count on how many times the Rangers have given him a goal in the first couple minutes. And it's funny that you were thinking that as well. Now, let me ask you this, and let me ask you, the Blue Shirt on the Ground crowd out there, you the faithful. Is this a on ice problem or is this an off ice problem? Can you really be prepared? Can a coach really?
I don't know. I don't. I don't know. It just seems like every game there's just a confluence of events, and they're giving up these early goals. Like I said, I think it was the Edmonton game where it was right off the faceoff, wasn't it?
Again, the memory blurs during these late night. All I just remember from the Edmonton game was horrible passing on 5-on-3s, one by Artemi Panarin and one by Tony DeAngelo. At least one of the power plays, one of those guys totally screwed up, and it led to 2 breakaway goals.
Yeah, the Edmonton game was James Neal 11 seconds into the game.
Yeah,
and we got to talk about that Edmonton game too, because that game was a complete shit show.
Talk about it all you want.
6-0.
I know
6-0, and all I can think of is this team actually going to top what we accomplished at the viewing party? They came close.
They came close.
Like Vince Lombardi said, boys, you didn't lose. You ran out of time.
Oh,
I'm getting some word from the chat room that if possible, you should turn up your mic.
okay.
Are you able to?
Maybe I can. Yeah, I can work with that. Let's see.
All right. Maybe a little more volume out of you.
All right. Let's see.
Which I don't think we've ever said. Eddie, you're not loud enough. I don't think I've said that in 11 years.
How about that?
That seems a little better. I'll wait for the chat room to chime in. There you go. That's another first here on the Blue Shirt Underground show. In 11 years, I don't think I've ever said, Eddie, you're not loud enough.
Well, I'm not being very animated right now. So maybe I'm just low volume, low key.
Are you melancholy? Is this melancholy, Eddie?
Yeah, I am melancholy after a 3-game losing streak. But get a little feedback on my mic.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me. I can hear you okay. I don't know. Turn up your speakers wherever you're watching us. Turn your speakers up.
So
you'll hear Eddie better.
Problematic in that Edmonton
there you go.
game for you.
I mean, fall behind 6-0 in that game. We got to get Baba Shampooey out of the. We got to get him out from under the dryer in that game. He was getting his hair did. He's getting a manicure. He's getting a hoof and paw on the bench. The next thing you know, he's got to come in and rescue Alexander, the not so great. Whew, it's bad. Hank and the mop up, and the first. And I can tell you, I got to give Hank first save he made was incredible. I mean, it would have been 7-0. Here's your first shot on goal, and he had to make a great save on it. And luckily, he stopped the bleeding, and Chris Kreider got the Rangers started late in the second period with a goal, and then the Rangers scored 4 goals in the third period. And of course, when they get to 6-5, they pull the goalie, and then we killed Yamamoto. puts the Rangers away with an empty netter. I'd almost rather they don't. I almost rather they don't pull the goalie. I think the chances are better that they're going to score without the goalie pulled.
Yeah, the Rangers don't do very well with the goalie pulled. Still
But
on the level.
so they wind up losing that game 7-5, an absolute shit show. And then Calgary, again, same problem. Early goal, fall behind. I think they fell behind 2-0 in that game before they rallied. And ladies and gentlemen, this team sets another benchmark, a 3-on-5 shorthanded goal. And I was watching the condensed recap of that game, which is like an 8-minute condensed version of the game. I did watch most of that game, but then I went back and watched the condensed game, which was the Calgary feed. And whoever one of their announcers is, after Gaudreau scored the first goal on Hank, he says, "This is really surprising. Henrik Lundqvist is one of the better goaltenders on a breakaway." I'm like, okay, so you haven't seen a Ranger game in 5 years. And then it happened again on the 3-on-5. The bad pass from Panarin trying to hit Trouba at the point. Bad pass. Another goal. 3-on-5. That's something you do in a video game. I could do that on NHL 19.
That was just... It's got to be very disheartening when there's a goal right away. So I'm still want to know, is it the players' fault? Is it the youth of this team? Is this some kind of growing pain? I mean, is this something about the coach not getting the people in the right headspace? Is this... Say now I'm probably going up in your speakers.
He's ramping up.
Is this a product that I know you hate the subject, but name a goddamn captain? Who is good? I mean, what is this? Some kind of process? We stink. Just name a captain.
So you think that's the answer to all these problems?
I don't think it's an answer. I think it's a step forward. Who's the leader? Follow the leader.
Who's the leader of the team that's made for you and me? Mikazi, Mika Zibanejad, Mika.
We make the playoffs to name a captain. One of these.
Zibanejad. Forever let us hold the banners on.
I'm at a loss. I just think they're very frustrating the way they lose, but I think a lot of people and the typical suspects, the people who got the hot heads, the people who think they know everything about hockey. This is what stinking is and rebuilding is. I see a lot of progress. Some players I don't. I mean, I didn't expect the Rangers to make the playoffs. They give up.
No, I don't either.
They lose Vancouver a minute and whatever it was left in the game. Just a heartbreaker. I mean, I never really thought they were going to come back and win in the Edmonton game. Edmonton stopped playing, basically. The Rangers crept back. All those teams are not good. Well, Vancouver's pretty good. But Calgary's been struggling. I mean, Sam couldn't get it out of his mouth fast enough about how Johnny Gaudreau's been struggling, and then he scores.
Right.
And then all these goofballs, like you said, Antoine Roussel and all these bozos come out of the woodwork with their 2-goal games.
James Neal with a hat trick.
James Neal, who got off to a terrific start. He's been kind of quiet, and then he gets the hat trick before you could freaking sit down. So it was just I felt very deflated after the three losses in a row. They found a way to lose in 3 consecutive games. I was very disheartened by the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. These games are tough. They've always been tough. No matter how good the Rangers are, they've always struggled with these West Coast swings, especially the Western Canada swing has always caused them trouble. I mean, I can remember a couple of years ago where they swept the Western Canada Swing, and it was like they won the cup. It was unprecedented. People were in Times Square celebrating.
Yes, I mean, they always have trouble on this trip. And I don't have the stats in front of me. I just know up till probably before we started this show, the Rangers are a disaster on New Year's Eve. They should never play a game on New Year's Eve. Usually they're on the road, and they get plastered. Well, they were on New Year's Eve. They were on the road too, right?
Yeah, at 9:00 East Coast time. Who the hell's watching that game? I mean, New York. I mean, really. I mean, New York. It's New Year's Eve. People got things going on. You have a game at 9:00 that's not going to end till close to midnight. Midnight's kind of a big deal on New Year's Eve, isn't it?
In New York, yeah, really. I mean,
Right?
yeah, it's a stupid thing. So they never do well. I mean, I don't have this, maybe I can get Cutter on that. Give me that New Year's Eve record.
Go to work, Cutsy.
Go to work, Cuts.
Oh, he's not here. He's on a date with his sister.
Oh, wow. She doesn't like his shoes, though. His shoes are off-putting.
Right.
But, yeah, listen, things get lonely up there in Kitchener.
Indeed, they do. Well, I'm just glad they're coming home. We're gonna kind of bounce around here a little bit.
Jeff
Not like our
here, by the way.
I know. Not like our usual tightly structured show that very regimented broadcast this is. The other thing that upset people in that Calgary game was Capo Caco benched at the end of the game. Rangers down by a goal, and Greg Seabiscuit McKegg is on the ice. Oh, how that always gets people upset. What do you make of that? You're right with Caco getting benched. Bad penalty, he gets benched, and
well, I mean, he did score a goal early in that game, and
right.
had broken a 14, I don't remember, 14 game goalless streak or whatever.
I think it was 14 games. That sounds right.
I mean, the goal wasn't all that impressive. He kind of just shot it at the net and it went in, but you figure give the kid some confidence. But I mean, haven't we seen it with every stupid coach that's come and coached this team about these dopes at the end of the game who they put out? I mean, haven't we said this about Aaron Asham?
Brian Boyle. I used to say it all the time about Brian Boyle.
Mark Stahl, Fost. I mean, I know everybody likes Fost, but really, when you're down, you don't want to see these guys.
Right.
And so that caused a cataclysmic explosion at the Ranger fan base that David Quinn is an utter buffoon. What is he doing? He's ruining the future. He loves these third, fourth line of North American guys. He doesn't like this. He doesn't like the way you poop. He doesn't. It's got to be just Ranger Town exploded.
Well, Ranger Town is always on fire about something.
Yeah.
There's also always an arsonist running around Ranger Town. Have we ever had a coach with better bench meltdowns though? I mean, really, even Tortorella wasn't this animated on the bench. What was the thing he was doing the other night? The fucking rabbit ears. Yeah,
man, that was classic.
And his favorite, his go-to line is fucking brutal. Every bad call, it's fucking brutal. Fucking brutal. And he'll say it like 5 times. Fucking brutal.
I like he was just saying, fuck you to the referee. Just like
fucking brutal.
Let me ask you this, guys. And you, Jim, of course. Do you think for a second-year coach, he really has that kind of leeway to talk like that? I mean, he's won nothing in this league. If I were these refs, I would crucify him. I'd crucify his players. I would say, listen, buddy, you're a nobody. You haven't done nothing in this league. And then, of course, we get the same crew works the with Calgary, and then it was the next night. Well, Calgary was the last game, wasn't it? Oh, no, Vancouver. Yeah, we get the same crew. Wonderful.
That always works out well. So you think he's so you think he's a little too I mean, he wasn't quite this bad last year. So you still think he's got to make a little more bones to be throwing these kinds of fits, huh?
The Rangers suck. The Rangers are a suck. I mean, they're what? 2 games over 500? They're right. Look where they are in the standings, Jim. The Devils are sneaking up on them.
Devils are playing good hockey since they fired the hairless cat.
I hate that guy. I hate the Devils. Yeah, but look at the Rangers in the standings, Jim. They're not a good team. I mean, they have flashes. And, here's another thing. The power play, right? We got Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider, maybe a smattering of Buchnevich. We got Tony D. We got who's the other guy? Who plays the forward play the point? I don't even know what goes on. This unit can't get anything going. But the second unit comes on. They're shooting. They're not looking for the one-timer. And they're coming up with goals. I don't understand why that first unit doesn't get 2 power play goals a game. They look great. Control the puck. They enter the zone nicely. It's a whole thing. But it's just agonizing to watch the passing. And no one's moving. It's just
they're not moving their feet, Sam.
And
they're at their best when they're moving their feet, Sam.
It's just very annoying. And, it's just, these are the aches and pains of a team that is the youngest team in the NHL.
Right.
We have to face that. Am I annoyed by it? Sure, I'm still annoyed by it. But I'm not looking to fire anybody. I'm not saying, I know Costa's going to be on here in a little while saying, JD wants his guys in here. He wants his GM. He wants his coach. Quinn favors North American players. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think mentally this team is not very tough. It's very fragile.
Yes, I agree with that. Maybe even more so with Brendan Lemieux out of the lineup. A little of their moxie's missing.
Yeah.
They're 2 and 3 without Mr. Lemieux.
He's mixing it up. I mean, it's not a devastating. They should be winning. They should have won at least one game. Now they dropped 3. That's concerning.
And I know everybody. 90% of this fan base is on Lindy Ruff. They want Lindy Ruff fired.
I don't care. Fire.
They don't like the defensive system.
Somebody else.
But I don't know what to expect when you have Mark Stahl back there, who is, I don't know how old Mark Stahl is, 35 or 36. He's slow. The guy's a warrior, but he's slow.
He's slow.
He's too slow for today's NHL. First of all, so you got him back there and you got Brady Shea back there. Brady Shea stinks.
He's horrible.
He stinks.
Think of the worst giant cornerback in your lifetime, and that's Brady Shea. He's terrible. With a capital T.
Jeremy Lincoln. For those that know their Giants really well. He's Jeremy Lincoln back there. And don't say Elvis Patterson. It's too easy to go to. He wasn't. Elvis Patterson was better than he gets. He just got that nickname from Bill Parcells, and it stuck with him. He wasn't as bad as people think he was. But Jeremy Lincoln was bad. Anyway,
I just think that, and then you take those two guys, and then you got a bunch of young dudes back there, man. I mean, you got Adam Fox in his first year. I think he's playing well. Tony D, he's been surprisingly good, at least from my end.
Yeah, but he's
He's
another forward or another defenseman that's best suited, that would be better off playing forward.
Maybe we can switch him when we get rid of Brendan Lemieux one of these days. Yeah,
Brendan Lemieux. We're getting rid of Brendan Lemieux now?
Brendan Smith.
Brendan Smith? I mean, you know, they force-fed this pairing of Trouba and Shea. And it's hurting Trouba because I think Trouba's overcompensating, and I think Trouba's being asked to do things that he's just not. So it's not helping him to play with Brady Shea, but in turn, Trouba's the one taking the fall for this. I think Trouba's been fine. The guy leads the league in hits, blocks shots, and something else. What more do you want from that guy?
And he's got 6 or 7 goals. I mean, his production's a little bit down, but he doesn't play first-line power play.
I mean, you remember how fast everybody, you know, whatever people would say, Ryan McDonough, oh, look who he's paired with. Look who he's paired with. Look who he's paired with. Well, I think you got to say the same thing about Trouba. Look who he's paired with. I mean, the Rangers wanted to force feed this whole Shea Trouba friendship thing into a first-line pairing, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Good idea if that's what it's all about, is that they're friends.
Well, you know what I mean. You know, they just.
No. I'm saying I think that was the impetus in the beginning.
You take your two young, dynamic defensemen, you hope that's going to work out. They have history, and you hope it's going to work out. They played together. They know each other. But it hasn't worked. So who do you.
I think Trouba's. You can see Trouba is good. You can see that he is good. He's the only guy.
I got no problem with Jacob Trouba. But Brady Shea stinks.
I mean, there's no other way to sugarcoat it. He's awful. Putrid. What are you going to do? You got to march him out there unless Quinn benches him when Hayek is ready to go. Lindgren?
They don't like Hayek either, the fan base. They don't like Hayek either. Hayek's no good.
I like Lindgren over Hayek.
The what is it? A 20-game eval is in on Libor Hayek.
Oh yeah.
Or excuse me, 32 games. He's played 32 games. The evals are in. He stinks too. Yeah. And Sean McCaff makes a good point. Trouba plays great on that second power play without Shea.
That's a very good point.
You know, it is a good point. You know, it's a good point.
That guy should take up journalism.
He should. He should start a blog or something. And he should tweet about it. He should get on that Twitter thing. Talk to people. That's how you grow an audience. Yes. Talk to people. Get on that Twitter. Or as you call it, the Twitter to twatter.
The Twitter to twatter.
Twitter to twatter.
But then, Jim, and then in the last 6-7 games, the goaltending's been awful. I mean, you put a garbage can in net. I mean, these guys are total garbage. These goals they're giving up. Oh, I think it hit something. No, it didn't. The goaltender completely flubbed it. Whoever's in net.
Yeah, and I'm willing to put some blame on the defense, but the goaltenders have got to eat some of this too. They've got to. Georgiev hasn't been good, and Hank hasn't been good. Hank was great mopping up the other night. He was great coming out of the pen in relief. So is that what? So is that who Hank is now? Is he Robert Gazelman? Is that who Hank is now? Is he our he's the Randy Neiman coming in out of the pen? There's an old reference for you. Doug Sisk.
Doug Risk. That's what I used to call that dude.
Yeah, I know everybody's chomping at the bit in the chat room to talk about the big Ranger news from today, but we're just getting getting all the rest of this out first. Got to get it all out. Got to get the poison out, Robin.
Because it's leading there. Because you
We'll get there.
you knew that the defense was going to be suspect, but both Georgiev and Lundqvist stink. It's a joke. Come on, get it together. Somebody posted it on our Facebook group. Where the hell is Benoit Allaire? Put him in net. This guy's.
And my understanding was he didn't travel with the team on this West Coast swing. Look what happens. Look, it all falls apart. That's why Hank doesn't want to leave New York. I'm telling you. It's why he won't exercise that no move. He doesn't want to go play without Benny Allaire.
Benoit Allaire should be like
stapled to this team.
Stapled to these goaltenders.
He should be
horrible.
He should be in one of those carry-on bags that they put poodles in under Hank and Georgiev's seats on the plane.
And I mean, you got Lemieux's out, Hayek's been out, but now you really have the Rangers' full complement. I mean, they're not really. And also, it's looking like if that first line doesn't get on the scoreboard, they don't win.
Nobody gets on the scoreboard if they don't get on the scoreboard.
Well, you had the one game there with the second line, which Rick Carpinello dubbed the diaper line, which I think is, listen, with all due regards to Carp, I think that is a stupid name, mostly because shit comes in diapers and piss and whatever have you. I think that's an easily mocked line.
Right. We got enough to mock with this team.
Yeah.
Like that stupid hashtag, play like a New Yorker. The city hasn't won a championship in 10 years. Maybe we want to go back to marketing and come up with something better.
Yeah.
We haven't had a championship in New York in 10 years.
Why don't they just make them play like
since the wild card Giants, as you like the 10-6 Giants, as you like to call them.
I think they were the 9-7 Giants, actually.
1 year, well, I think 1 year they were 9-7. 1 year they were 10-6.
The wild card champions. Yeah, I just I thought that was ill-advised. So you want to talk about the goaltender, the savior, why he was brought up?
Yeah, I mean, for those that didn't hear the news, Igor Shesterkin, Worcestershire, like Bugs Bunny used to say, has been summoned. He's escaped.
Oh,
he's been freed.
The feet like a phoenix rising out of Hartford.
Right. The Martin Luther King's birthday is in 2 weeks. We could say it. Free at last. Free at last. Great God Almighty, we are free at last. Igor comes to town tomorrow night. He is called up from Hartford. And what is his reward? To face the Colorado Avalanche.
Hey, here's Nathan McKinnon.
Right. The 25-13 Colorado Avalanche. But
so what is your feeling on this whole thing? First of all, do you think these sicknesses and these ailments by the goaltenders is real, or it's just subterfuge for some other?
Our Miss Danson Larry Brooks reported on Twitter that this is not a health-related call-up. This has nothing to do with anyone's call-up or anyone's health.
Really?
It's what he says. It's what he says.
Wow.
Because, there was all kinds of speculation. But, Baba's got fluey.
Right. I like
Baba Chewy. Baba Chewy. There was a Baba get a tissue, or I don't know. There were a whole bunch of. He's got the mumps. I mean, that was another one going around. So I don't know. It's Doug Sotart, Wayne Thomas, and Steve Baker all over again.
I didn't think it was going to happen. I was a doubting Wayne Thomas on this. I thought they were going to not go this route. Okay, fans at home, in the chat room, people who are watching this on YouTube, what is the deal? What is behind this move?
Hold on. Matt Brown is saying that the Be Live app is not working.
All right.
Well, just that he's trying to call in and the Be Live app isn't working. I don't know. If the Be Live app isn't working, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how you get in. Costa's in, so it had to be working for somebody. Try and click the link I just put in the chat again. See if
maybe MSG took over Be Live.
So
what do you think? Is this
I just think
spark the team?
It could be. And look, let's face it, you got two goaltenders with goals against over 3. You got to try something. I mean, this is not 1978 where the goals against over 3 and hey, that's pretty good.
No, think
right. Now the goals against I don't know what the average is in the league, but it's got to be around 2.5. I mean, you
can't
back in the day,
it's like he's got a no movement clause. He's not going anywhere.
Back in the day, if your backup goaltender had a goals against under 4, you were thrilled. I mean, it's really go look at the numbers.
Have a career. Yeah, you could have a career.
Yeah, go look at the numbers. I'm not exaggerating. Go look at some of the backup goaltenders back in the 70s and 80s. Go look at Wayne Thomas's numbers with the Rangers or Doug Sotart. Oh, see, Matt Brown got in. There you are. I see you, Matt.
You said maybe I'm dumb.
We've considered that.
Oh, Paul Slyko was joking. Grimsal.
About what? Oh.
Trade hack.
Nah.
Now, they're going to move Georgiev. What are you going to get
for what
at this point? That's what I'm saying. What are you going to get?
For what? Everybody's, that's everybody.
What are you going
to trade him for?
3 weeks ago, you could have traded him. He's a backup.
I'm telling you, we talked about this. You and I talked about this last week. I don't think he's a guy that could be a number 1. I think he's a guy that's a nice backup. But if he plays too many games in a row, I think he gets exposed. I don't think he's as good as Antti Ranta or Cameron Fitzgerald Talbot, who beat Hank the other night, by the way. I'm sure Sean McCaff would like me to mention that the great Cambino. I miss Cam Talbot on this team. The great Cambino, the Huntsville Hammer, the Alabama Slammer.
That's right. He's a sieve, too.
It's because he's not playing for Benny anymore. I'm telling you. Guy's the goalie whisperer.
The guy with the couple
teams, I think. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, how come it's not working for Georgiev? I think Georgiev is good as a backup. I just think he's going to have a couple. He's not going to be like steady every game. Like I think Cam Talbot was as a Ranger. He's going to have some bad games.
I just think I think if you're sitting there thinking that they can trade Georgiev and get a haul for him, it ain't going to happen. I'd be very surprised.
A 3rd rounder.
That probably and a mucking 4th liner who's making too much money that somebody just wants to get rid of. I don't think you're getting anything of value, real value, rebuild value.
And then don't we have to factor in the fact that Shesterkin, now doesn't he turn a pro if he plays a certain amount of NHL games? Like, no, he's a pro, but I mean, doesn't he burn a year of his ELC if he's up here for more than like 10 games or some crapola?
I'm not sure. I'm not the guy to ask on these contract things. The chat room will know. Our chat guys always know.
Rock's here.
The great Rock is here. And thanks to Rock, thanks to Rock, Jen and I are going to the game on January 31st, Madison Square Garden. Rangers taking on the Red Wings. I purchased Rock's tickets.
Very good.
So thank you, Rock.
Gonna be
Jen was very excited.
A lot of talent.
That was
in
her.
that game,
That
watching
was
that Red Wings team.
That was her birthday present. Yeah, a lot. Yeah,
That team.
She's just hoping Lemieux is back by then.
Yeah.
Because she wants to wear her new jersey, and me, I'll wear my Hedberg jersey, so it don't matter.
Right.
But she wants to. You don't want to wear the jersey to the game if the guy's not playing.
But
takes a little something out of it.
People will give her props, though.
Of course.
Fans will say, you got a good jersey there. So it'll be interesting to see what goes down. I predict the Ranger win.
Better be. Against Detroit. That's a home and home that weekend, too. That ought to be a clean sweep. And speaking of scheduling quirks, did you see this schedule the Rangers got coming up here? Where they haven't played it. They're going to play the Islanders 3 times in 4 games.
I haven't checked out this month's schedule yet. Usually I have it posted on my computer, but I haven't gotten the
they play
paper yet.
Colorado, Jersey, and St. Louis this week. And if you can't see them losing all 3 of those games, you haven't been paying attention. Then they got the Islanders Monday night at the Garden. Then they're at Nassau Coliseum. Spin the wheel. Where do the Islanders play next week? They're at Nassau Coliseum next week, Thursday night. Then they play Columbus over the weekend, and then it's another game at the Garden against the Islanders. And then it might be the All-Star. I think after that is the All-Star break, I think. Yeah, it looks like it. Because then they're off for a week and a half until they come back to play Detroit.
Who are these imbeciles that make up this freaking schedule?
If they don't figure this out, this could get ugly. I mean, this is no slouches coming in here. I mean, I know the Islanders are struggling, but I don't know if anybody's paid attention the last 5 years. The Rangers don't play very well against the Islanders.
Nope, they certainly don't. And they've got they're slumping a little bit, but they've got a good team and they're well coached. But I like how the fact they're like, you know what, Shesterkin, we're throwing you right into the fire. Baptism by fire.
Right.
Listen, I hope the kid could spark something, but the Rangers give up a lot of high quality chances. And I don't care what goalie, who you got in there. I mean, I would have loved to see Lundqvist stop one of those breakaways, but those days are gone. In the Edmonton game, those days are gone. Although the Calgary announcer still thinks he's really good on breakaways. He must have just watched last year's All-Star game. That was about the only time I've seen him stop anybody in close.
Now, before we got Costa and Matt Brown warming up in the bullpen here, and I just want to ask you, because there seems to be, again, Ryan Strome is a hot button topic with Ranger fans, as is Chris Kreider. People they don't want to give Ryan Strome the big contract that everybody seems to think he wants, and they want to trade Kreider. Which Kreider, I understand. Strome, I'm a little more inclined to hold on to. People, the thinking is okay. He's only got these inflated numbers because of Panarin. But I still think that Strome has played pretty well, and I just think at some point you got to start selling. You got to stop selling off guys, don't you? I mean, don't you have to have some guys on this team that aren't 21 years old?
It's a good point. I mean, I'm
not saying
Strome goes. I mean, you say Strome goes to Dallas. Do you think he's going to do the same as well? Let me go. If he goes to the Wild, do you think Ryan Strome is going to be with Ryan Strome? I like Ryan Strome.
Well, I mean, we got 40 points out of Ryan Strome last year with no Panarin. I mean,
I'm not arguing the fact that he's not a good hockey player. I'm not there with that it's all because of Panarin. But it depends what he's looking for.
Right.
He's got to also realize that his career really has been resuscitated by the New York Rangers. There should be some kind of allegiance. But then again, this is 2020 or 2020, as Barbara Walters calls it.
Right.
But you know, if he gets silly with his demands, come on. The organization could survive losing Ryan Strome if it's silly. Kreider, on the other hand, can get you something.
Right.
And to me, I know a lot of people like him out there. I seen his ceiling. I seen how good he's going to do. Now he may do better elsewhere, but I'm not going to be following that. Just like I'm not following what's his face, Anthony Duclair and his 21 goals. You notice I know how many goals he has, by the way. Just like I'm not following Ryan Graves, who we'll get to see tomorrow there. Just like I'm not going to be following Nemestikov or Kevin Shattenkirk, like all these other idiots do. I don't care. You're out of the sweater. I don't care. But as far as Chris Kreider goes, I think he can get something. But you're right, Jim. There's got to come to a point. This whole thing's got to come to a point where they say, enough. We got to get hockey players in here and stop with the draft picks and this and that and all that stuff. But we still got guys coming. You know, we got Keandre Miller's coming. He'll probably be ready when Stoll gets the heave-ho. And hopefully somebody could. Somehow Brady Shea is not on this team. We got some guys coming.
Matt Robertson, the second-round pick from last year that they're very, very high on. He's coming.
Yeah.
The
players in here too.
Rykov, right?
Rykov.
Igor Rykov.
Niels Lundqvist, who played in the World Juniors, which I didn't see any of. I was remiss in my duties as a hockey fan, but there's a lot going on. But it's just a wait and see. But you're right. There's going to have to come to a point where we're going to have to keep guys, get hockey guys, instead of trading them away for just picks.
Right. I mean, I just think that there's some guys that they should just hold on to. And now, I'm not saying that they got to have Ryan Strome at all costs. Obviously, there's got to be a limit. I don't know what kind of deal he's looking for. If he's looking for, if they can get him on a 3-year deal for reasonable money, then I don't see why, because you could always trade him next year. But again, I think he's played well. I think he likes playing for Quinn. And like you said, they've resuscitated his career. This guy was no place.
It was over. Remember everybody at the beginning of the season, and including that one gentleman we had on from NHL Network. What was his name?
Dan Rosen.
Joe Cutrone's friend. All said, how are the Rangers going to win with Ryan Strome as their second-line center? That was their Achilles heel, the center ice position.
Right.
And I think for the most part, the center ice, I mean, Heedle's played pretty well.
Yeah, I think he has.
He's certainly second-year player. He's got 9 or 10 goals. That's certain. What is he, 19? I forget to listen to the broadcast when they remind me every 30 seconds. But you got a young kid. He's, he's progressing. So, yes, Ryan Strome was thought to be headed out the door like, oh, boy, it's a real spare part. So, as long as it doesn't get silly. And then when you got Tony DeAngelo, who there's a lot of people want to keep him, and the Rangers were squeezed against the cap. They got Trouba and they got Panarin. And it might hurt them in the end because they have some young players and they have got some assets that had good seasons with them. So,
personally, I'm hoping Tony DeAngelo gets a 10-year contract. 10 years.
You really want to lock him up for 10 years?
I want these left-wing nut jobs that refuse to root for him.
Why are you letting politics ruin?
I just want them pissed off. I want them angry. I want them
always hollering about something. I hate fucking politics. I just can't. It crosses over everything. I just
like seeing people pissed off. I like people being angered. I like the discourse.
I like to see people tweaked and people triggered and all that stuff.
Exactly.
But I'm not rooting for a player or against a player because of his politics. I know you're on Twitter. You like to see people explode and melt down and all that stuff. That's fine.
That's all. I like Give him the C.
It's the last bastion I have of no politic talk. Let's just, who cares? I like that Tony D, he goes after all the people on Twitter and all stuff. That's fine. I think these know-it-alls need to be poked in the eyes and talked down to.
I thought it was funny yesterday, speaking of him on Twitter, he was, he's an Eagles fan. And he was tweeting about how bad the NFL referees are. I responded to him and I said they're just as bad in your league. I don't know if he didn't comment on it. I know that. I don't know if he even acknowledged it, but
officiating is bad in every sport. I don't know what happened. People got stupider. And in general, people have gotten stupider.
Agendas.
Oh, agendas, my friend.
By the way, Peter Laviolette has been fired. Fired.
By the Preds?
By the Predators, yes.
Wow. That's a shocker.
Yes, sir.
I know they haven't been doing well. However, they did beat the Rangers, didn't they, as I remember? Oh, no, they lost. What was the score of that Predator game? Oh, yeah.
They, let's see. They beat the Predators, didn't they? Or they 5-2. They lost to the Predators. I think they beat them earlier in the season.
Right. So Laviolette, former New York Ranger defenseman, I was at I think one of the 4 games or 2 games he played at the Garden, gave away the puck, and it caused the Rangers a goal. And I don't think he ever played for the Rangers again. Will the Ranger fans be screaming, "Get Laviolette"? I don't think so. Also, somebody brought up the Pavel Buchnevich, who all of a sudden has become a pariah among some Ranger fans. I'm seeing Stinknevich, Puknevich. A lot of Ranger fans have done a 360 with this guy. What do you think about him? What kind of haul can we get for him?
Not much. You're not getting much for him either.
Trade everyone, fire everyone. That's basically what this stuff. Everybody knows best. Everybody knows what's best for Capo Caco. Can't he just be struggling? Does it really have to be the coach? And I know people who absolutely hate David Quinn.
Oh yeah.
How could you hate him already? Last season was a complete catastrophe. And this year he's got some young guys. What did you expect? You want Kako to play 25 minutes? You think that's going to make him score goals? I don't know. It drives me crazy.
They're the same fans that would be bitching if they had 28 wins right now that they were screwing up their draft pick. I don't know who they think could coach this team right now. I don't know.
They hate every coach. They couldn't wait to get AV out of here. They can't wait. Yeah. I guess you missed those Stanley Cup appearances now.
Right. Well, like I said with Buchnevich, how many coaches do we have to hire before one's going to get through to this guy on a nightly basis?
Let me ask you this, and I'll also ask the underground this. Has Quinn been as active in benching players who are slumping than last year? Has he been as active?
I think more so.
Really?
I think so. I don't know. Maybe I'm I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering, as Roger Clemens once said, but it seems to me that more players are being benched this year.
In game or riding the pine?
Like in game. Right. But he's also working with more young players this year. So he's, I think maybe he's trying to nip some stuff in the bud here before it gets out of hand.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I could be way off on that.
I think that's been happening.
So.
All right. You want to get to these?
Yeah, you want to talk to Matt first?
Yeah, let's
Since we haven't talked to Matt. All right. That's Matt Brown.
Matt Brown, I'm sorry.
What's up, Matt?
What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Matt?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah, I wanted to try to call in. I haven't called in a while because I've got a new job, so I'm kind of getting used to a new schedule here. So,
well, congratulations on a new job. Is it in the same field? Is it?
It's it's in marketing. So I was in sales, so I finally went to school for marketing. So I got a job as a marketing manager for a new company. So
marketing, super. Isn't that nice? I've always wanted to say that to somebody. From planes, trains, and automobiles. I've never been able to do that.
Yeah. That's right.
So, what line of work you in, Neil Page? Marketing, super. Isn't that nice? Congrats on the new job. I like the fact that Matt comes on with he's got a background going here. He's like put his own little studio together here to come on the show.
It's the new Rangers man cave, newly redone. So
very nice.
Oh, very cool.
I'm watching the Islanders game to see what they're doing right now, just because I figured.
What's the score?
While I was waiting,
Unlike
0-0 right now.
Unlike Cutter, who comes on and it looks like he's in a cave in Calcutta, trying to escape. It's like he's in a panic room or something. like Saw. That's it. It's like he's in one of those rooms from the movie Saw. Anyway, so what's on your mind, Matt?
I'm just I was calling in to kind of get a gauge on where you guys stood on a couple things. I mean, obviously there's some things that are on my mind are, coming up the trade deadline, the big one, right? So, I mean, I'm just hoping that they don't, I'm hoping that they make the right moves and they don't make the wrong moves and getting rid of guys that they really shouldn't get rid of. Like you guys were talking about Strome. I don't see the benefit of getting rid of him right now, like you were saying. I really don't. I don't see how trading a guy who's playing well, just because he's playing well with Panarin isn't a reason to trade somebody. That's like coming from like the Penguins saying, hey, we should get rid of Gensel because he's playing well only because he's with Crosby. I mean, that kid's a stud. You would never trade that kid. Just because he's playing with a guy who's better and makes him better, that's not a reason to trade somebody. So I don't see that argument. I would say, you get him into the following year and see what he wants as far as contract goes. And if he wants too much money, then, then he's got to move on. But if you can afford the guy, then keep him on. I mean, obviously something's working there. So, but on the other hand, I'm getting so sick of watching Brady Shea play defense for this team. I am like so fucking over it. sorry for the F-bomb, but it's gotten to that point. You know what I mean?
I mean,
like,
he's frustrating,
man. It's old to watch.
When they go over the tape, they see that what Shea is doing out there.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, I never played at a pro level. I played, for 15 years, just up through, college and stuff. And you can, I mean, it doesn't take someone to be a genius to watch that defensive play and say, listen, this guy's out of position. He's not back checking. He's constantly letting guys slip through the seam and get to the slot and just have wide open chances and, missing pucks and overskating pucks in the corner. It's just, he's got to go. I mean, you're paying way too much money for that with the guys they got in the hopper through Keandre Miller and was it Niels Lundqvist, his name? You got room to play with. So I would say getting rid of him would be a priority, in my opinion. But I don't know.
I just don't know who's going to take on that contract.
I know. That's the thing. But you could probably find a team that, is maybe lacking in defense more than we are. Because I don't really think that we're hurting defensively as we were in the past. So you could probably find a team that would take that on. We'll see.
Well, you mentioned Chris Kreider. What's your feelings on him right now?
He's playing better than he was in the beginning of the season, I'd say, but I still think there's really not a choice. You got to get rid of him at the deadline. I mean, it's either that or he's a free agent, right? So if they don't get rid of him at the deadline, they lose him for nothing, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like you have to get something for him. You can't take nothing on that guy. He's been with as much as it. I like Kreider and everything, but there's no denying he's going downhill. I mean, he's not going downhill. I guess that's a little harsh. I mean, he's just not. He's not going to be worth what you'll have to pay him if you sign him to an extension. By the end of that term, you're going to be getting negative returns on it. In my opinion, you're not going to get what you're paying him. So
he's peaked, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he's peaked. He's on the downward part of his
now
his
he's
career,
been rumored to go to Boston. The Bruins.
That I don't want to see because I don't want to trade within division. Just watch this guy, or not division, but we're going to play the Bruins and he's just going to smoke us every fucking game. So it's going to happen.
Yeah, I've advanced in my Ranger fandom that I don't care anymore. Like Chris Kreider, I know he's going to score or whatever.
Yeah.
But I really don't know what his value is at this point. But I do think I would say, Matt, I think the league does think he's better than we know. Do you know what I mean?
I agree. I would say that you could maybe. I don't want to say you get a first round pick though. I don't know if that's the case. I feel like that's a stretch. I feel like maybe a second round pick and a couple prospects, or a prospect and a second round pick. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I don't really know what the market is for Chris Kreider, but I guess if it's a team that's actually got a chance to go to the playoffs and make a run, you could use a guy like that on your second or third line, I guess. Maybe some team would be willing to give it up if they have enough, I don't know. Again, it's just one. I think I don't.
He's going to be looking
idea,
for
honestly.
scoring, and they're going to say, this guy's got blazing speeds. He's big. He gets in front of the net.
Yep.
Chris does have some talent. There's no doubt about it. He just cannot finish.
No, he can't finish.
That's his problem.
It's kind of like the opposite of. It's kind of like Hank. He can't stop breakaways anymore. Chris Kreider can't score on breakaways anymore. So you're getting that picture.
Right.
I will say that. Have you guys ever seen the video of Chris Kreider jumping out of the pool from the shallow end? Have you guys ever seen that video of him when he first entered the league?
Yes.
He jumps clean out of the pool from the shallow end of a freaking pool. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean,
the guy's a freak athlete, but I just say, he's just not I don't think he's worth keeping to sign to an extension. You know what I mean? So I would say he's got to go.
Did you ever see the video of Brian Boyle jumping in the kiddie pool and almost drowning?
Oh, my God.
That'd be entertaining.
Rock is saying that Kreider may be one of the best available forwards at the trading deadline, and could be a goner or something. Maybe in the kin of a first round pick, like you suggested.
That'd be great. That would be great.
Trade him to Boston. Get 5 pieces back for him, like they did for Nash. Oh, a cat sighting.
Looks like my cat.
Yeah, Aria.
Is that a tuxedo cat?
She is. Yeah.
Yeah, so's mine. How's the temperament on Aria?
She's awesome, man. She's so friendly.
Oh,
she just hangs out. Then we got another one named Sansa, and she just doesn't want to be around anybody, so kind of fits the bill.
Game of Thrones fans over there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so
Kreider's Hall, that seems to be the word of the day, Hall.
Yeah.
So you're nay on Strome.
Nay on Strome, yay on Kreider. Yay on Shea if some miracle happens.
Let me ask you this, Matt. What do you think's behind this Shesterkin call-up? Do you think this is
I don't know. I saw one article, and I don't really know because there's so many freaking articles out there, as you guys know. But I saw one article that said something along the lines of he was being brought up because obviously Lundqvist had a flu, so they didn't know how long that was going to last, but they were bringing him up. And then I saw another article saying that, well, now I know that Lundqvist is going to be backing up Shesterkin and Georgiev staying out. So I don't know. I mean, if that's the case, I mean, it could be possible that they're getting offers or they're in the process shopping Georgiev and trying to make sure that he stays healthy. I mean, it wouldn't. I wouldn't say that's. Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's improbable. I mean, could be smart on their part. Maybe they're fielding offers and they don't want him to get hurt. Because they're not going to keep – I don't think they're going to keep Georgiev and trade. That's not going to happen. He's not – Lundqvist isn't going anywhere. It's just realistic. He's not going anywhere. And, something for Georgiev, which I think could be – I don't know if it's going to be maybe a second-round, third-round pick. I don't know. But Igor, I got to see Hartford come to Syracuse to play the Crunch. And I was so pissed because Igor didn't play. They played Huska.
Huska.
I really didn't get to see him play. Yeah, but I did get a friend of mine went down and got me an autograph from Igor Shesterkin during the intermission on this piece of. It was on the back of a ticket. So I mean, I have it, but I don't really know. It's nothing crazy. It's not like it was on a jersey or anything. But
never know what Shesterkin could turn into. I mean, this kid is
Yeah,
fabulous in the AHL. I mean, he's been lights out everywhere he's played.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an adjustment period, but
I'm excited for tomorrow night.
Maybe they didn't want him to get up in the Benoit last tutelage. Maybe that's the whole plan. And I think what Matt said is what's going to happen. I see Georgie Boy's going to be moved very soon.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. When I first saw it and I saw that Lundqvist was out, I didn't think anything of it because I thought they were just bringing him up. But then when I saw, I think it was Larry Brooks, and again, I take everything that Larry Brooks kind of says with a grain of salt. But if that's the case and Lundqvist is backing him up, then why would Georgiev be sitting out? I don't know.
No, I think that's a fair deduction.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's. What do you guys think? I mean, do you guys?
What do I think? You've convinced me that what you're thinking is now what I'm thinking. I don't know what Jim is thinking, though.
Well, again, I don't. That probably makes as much sense as anything. That maybe they're trying to trade Georgiev, and maybe they don't want him to get hurt, or maybe they just want to get a look at Shesterkin up here with Benoit Allaire, or maybe it's just because the goaltending hasn't been great lately. So let's see if we shake things up a little bit.
Yeah,
but
that could be too.
Here's my question: if this is a long-term call-up, does it benefit Shesterkin to be here and play 20 games the rest of the season, or is it better for him to be in Hartford as the full-time starter? What's more valuable to his career?
Well,
and his advancement.
I think the thinking is by some fans that they don't want him to jump ship to the KHL next year like Kravtsov did. So they want to kind of want to soothe him,
right?
Say
keep
get him
happy.
Taste of Madison Square Garden,
right?
New York City, maybe get him that little flavor of that, so he knows what the future is like.
Yeah,
and kind of. So that I think that might come into play as well. Mr. French made a great joke about Adam Husker. How did Husker do when you saw him, Matt?
Well, they actually got hit really bad by the Crunch.
Really?
Yeah, they lost by like 3 goals. I mean, but at the same time, it wasn't because I don't think it was because of Husker. They just had a bad defensive game. To be honest with you, I mean, he made some great saves too, but he got lit up. I mean, I think they put over 35 shots on him. So,
yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is. But
Syracuse is whose affiliate? Ottawa?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah. So for some reason there's a ton of Tampa Bay fans here in Syracuse because of that. So it's kind of weird because I've always wished that the Rangers affiliate would be the Syracuse team just because it makes sense. It's closer, but unfortunately that's not the case because that would be great to be able to watch all these prospects come up through.
I used to love it when they were in Binghamton. That was great to go to the games and see those guys once in a while.
Yeah. So unfortunately nowhere nearby, but that's okay.
Plus, you got the Syracuse Mets right there. Syracuse could just be the hub of minor league, New York minor league sports.
Mets games, yeah. I'm not a huge baseball fan myself, but yeah, I mean it's been great though. I mean they've had more people at those games than they have in a while since that happened. So, I mean I grew up in a Yankees household, but never really followed it that much. So, but there's a lot of newborn Mets fans around here now.
All right,
I'm
Matt.
sorry.
Thank you for your-
When you see them,
Whoa.
apologize to them, please.
All right.
Yeah.
Was that the cat? Did the cat just
Yeah,
start
that
by?
cat.
She's going nuts right now. She's like, "What is
Nice.
going on right now?" So, but
You look like Panarin on a breakaway there. All right,
All
take
right,
care,
Matt.
Matt.
Cool,
Thanks
guys.
for calling in,
checking in.
bro.
We'll
yeah, I
talk to you
appreciate
soon.
it. We'll talk
Take
to you guys
care.
later. Bye.
Bye.
Great Matt Brown.
Matt Brown, great job. The link is in the chat if you want to come on. You just got to have the Be Live app installed on your mobile device, and you can just click the link and sign right in. You can do it with Android or Apple. I've posted the link a couple of times. If Cutter can do it, you can do it.
That's right.
That's the way. Oh, see, look, see that microphone. Listen to that. You sound very up all night with Eddie Geik.
Up all night with Eddie Geik. Hey, everybody.
Go ahead, Seattle.
Tonight.
I'm listening.
Tonight, we have some special music by Jimmy Buffett. For you, what do you call them? Parakeets? Whatever they call them?
Parrot heads. Some special
Parrot
music by Jimmy Buffett. Here's a song about the beach.
Cheeseburger in Paradise here on WLIW. See, I guess I should be talking closer to the mic, but I kind of like relax.
Sound like like Allison Steele. That's who I was trying to think of. She always had that. She had that, like she was speaking really close to the microphone.
Are
and
you
she had
saying
that
I sound like a
soft
girl?
voice. No, you just had that. Oh, it's 2020. All bets are off now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, really.
She always sounded like she was speaking really close to the microphone and very soothing, and it was just there was like no other. Hard to explain, but that's just what it
I
reminded
could go
me.
gender fluid on everybody.
There you go.
All right, what else we got, Robin?
Edwina. Speaking of gender fluid, what better time to bring in Costa?
There he is.
Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only.
The champ. There he is. Undefeated.
Thank you.
That's a vat of soda. Don't worry, I enjoy soda like that as well.
That's his to-go bucket.
So, anyways,
By the way, where's the long time we talk about soda? I gotta interject something here.
okay.
So we're coming home from the airport the other night, and I wanted a soda, and we stopped at a Circle K, and if you're not Circle K is like Wawa. It's like, they're popular in Florida and they're popular in Arizona and in the West, and there's a few of them sprinkled around the Northeast. Well, they have really good fountain soda, and they sell a 44 ounce. They call it a Polar Pop, and it's only 99 cents. It's the best.
That's a good deal.
So we stop at Circle K. I'm all excited because I'm just super thirsty, and I go in. I fill up get the Diet Coke, pay for it, get outside. I unwrap my straw. It's a fucking paper straw, which totally changes the taste of the soda. So now Jen's like, Jesus Christ, now what? You're going to start carrying around your own straws? And I'm like, you know what? If that's what I got to fucking do in this world, I'm going to do it. So screw you and your paper straws, you goddamn. In a styrofoam cup, though. Jen goes, do you realize the irony that it's a styrofoam cup, but they got to give you a goddamn paper straw?
Really?
Well, can I add this? I have been complaining about this for a while. It doesn't change the taste, but the feeling around your lips, it's awkward.
Right.
It doesn't feel
right. Like, see, I've got, even in my Bubba keg that I drink my soda from at home, I've got a plastic straw. I go in a Quick Check. They got the nice big wide straws. And I just steal a handful of them and I bring them home.
But I will tell you,
a closet full of them upstairs.
I ran into a paper straw that I liked.
Really?
At Wendy's.
Oh.
I went to Wendy's and it was a paper straw, but it had a texture on the outside that didn't feel awkward.
Oh.
And it was weird because the lady behind me said to the manager, I hate paper straws, but these paper straws, they feel right.
They feel right.
And I've been trying to talk about, and I've been trying to talk. There's another thing while we're talking about pop culture, whatever, and we'll get to you, Costa.
I get it. Pop culture. We're talking about soda.
Pop. Yeah.
All right.
Here's another thing. I've been waiting to talk about this since Thanksgiving on this show.
Oh boy.
But it's nothing really big. But you know how like everybody said they're not going to talk about politics over the holidays and all that stuff? So in my family, we argued about a totally different subject, which is March of the Wooden Soldiers with Oliver Hardy, Laurel and Hardy. Yeah.
Jen's favorite holiday movie.
Fucking sucks. It's the worst piece of crap that was ever made. It's got this creepy old dude who wants to have sex with a 14-year-old Goldilocks or whatever she is. It's got creepy little bears. It's a musical. It sucks. If I'm anywhere near you in the holidays, that better not be on.
Oh. You two are going to have a conversation at the next viewing party.
It's terrible.
That's her favorite. And she usually likes. I don't know. You have to ask.
It goes on and on.
My mother always watched it too. It's not my favorite, but
you know because
I like Laurel and Hardy, so you know it's not my favorite Laurel and Hardy.
Too, but,
I mean,
when I was a kid, Christmas Day, I couldn't wait to sit in front of the TV, watch a Godzilla marathon, whatever they had.
That was Thanksgiving. They did that the day after Thanksgiving.
Day they did it. I had a free day. I was up early. I wanted to watch something. I turn on PIX Channel 11. What do they got? This March of the Wooden Soldiers shit for fucking 4 hours. With the commercials that ran like 4 hours, an all-day affair. I hate it. I despise it. I would burn the film that it was on if it was in front of me.
Channel 9 on in the old days on Thanksgiving, they would show Mighty Joe Young and the original King Kong, and an all-day Friday would be Godzilla movies. Godzilla versus Mothra, Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, and then Godzilla versus King Kong.
It ruins my Christmas.
I'm
They
sorry.
still play that damn thing.
March of the Wooden Soldiers ruins your Christmas, really? The Bogeymen?
Because
the Bogeymen ruins your Christmas.
Half the family wants to watch it, and half the family hates it. And all we do is argue.
So, all right. So, what is your favorite Christmas movie? What's the one every year you gotta watch it, or do you not have one?
Oh, I have a couple. I like the one with the Burgermeister, the Heat Miser.
The Year Without a Santa Claus.
Yeah, with that I could. Well, that's fun, right, Costa?
Right, that's a great one.
Oh yeah. First of all, I don't like musicals, so that March of the Wooden Soldiers.
I'm Mr. White Christmas. I'm Mr. Snow. Do 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 do. Right.
I don't get it. But anyway, that's been broiling in my system for like 2 months. This is my therapy. This is my therapy on air. And my cousin would just kept playing it, wouldn't change the channel. I wanted to punch him. That's my wife. She was there.
You know what, Ollie? The Wooden Soldiers.
Oh, God.
You know what, Ollie?
Those guys must have been on their last dollar to make that flop. Oh, by the way, if you want to watch a great movie, watch Stan and Ollie. It's a biopic. Awesome.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's awesome.
The biopic.
And it's the actors. John C. Reilly plays Oliver Hardy. Fantastic. The other guy, great. All right, enough of that. Costa came here to talk about hockey. Costa,
Are you sure? Maybe he came. Maybe he didn't.
I think he came here to enjoy my rant.
Right.
That too. Anyways, what's the
Yes.
name is gone next season? I guarantee right now, Quinn is
Oh.
gone next season. He ain't going. Everybody, stop bitching. He's going nowhere this season. He's getting a fucking mulligan. So everybody, cool your fucking jets. He's staying next season. Then, but I think he's gone next season. I just think that the expectations now that they're too high. We spent this money, and now people want. I don't know if I want to say a playoff berth, but you get the idea. You want to see progress, and I think. Do you think we're almost halfway into the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were we better off last year at this time or worse off at this time?
You had the first half of the season, they had all the veterans. They had Zuccarello. They had all the guys that they sold off. They had Kevin Hayes. They had players that could play. This year, you got a bunch of Mamalukes who are like under 21 playing most of the games. That's a whole different. Yeah, we're worse off. I think. But this is the rebuild. Last year was the tearing down. Don't you think so? I mean,
yeah, I would agree, but I think, and I said this before, I think the fact we spent all that money on fucking Panarin and Trouba, the expectation kind of went up a little bit.
But that's their fault, Costa.
I agree with
fans'
that.
fault. I don't know if the fans, what they think translates to what the Rangers do in the front office. Hopefully it doesn't, because we'd be firing, hating every guy on the team. But
we'd have a new coach every 3 months.
Yes. you also make the point, Costa, which I think could be valid, that maybe JD wants his own guys in there.
Yep.
You know,
because remember, JD didn't hire these guys.
No,
They didn't hire these. I think no. Actually, no. Gordon hired Quinn, but Sather basically gave the reins to Gordon.
But do you really think JD would have taken the job if he wasn't in lockstep with the GM and the coach? With the coach having just been hired and the GM basically just embarking on a rebuild, would JD really come in here and think, if this isn't working in a year and a half, I'm going to tear it all apart and bring my people in here?
Then why did he come here in the first place? Because he wanted to come home?
No, I think they look at this as a 3-year deal. It's not going to happen overnight. But I think if Quinn struggles next year and they get off to a bad start or guys regress, I could see him getting fired. I don't see him getting fired this year.
Exactly. He ain't getting fired. People need to fucking pipe down.
That's right. Exactly. They all need to fucking pipe down. So everybody shut up.
And just
thinks that he's getting
for what
fired.
it is, and then next season, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, they got the youngest team in the league. What do you think this has done? Who was he, a miracle worker? I mean, what is he supposed to do?
Like I said,
you want to quibble about time on ice and who plays and who don't. It's the same thing with every coach. I see it. Every Ranger coach has got some idiot out there down a goal. Hey.
But you got to admit, the fact he put in McKegg at the end of the game, I'm sure fucking drove people nuts.
Yeah, but I think Eddie makes a good point. You know, this is the third head coach that the Rangers have had since we started doing this show, and the complaints are the same for every coach. The complaints have been the same. They're the same people. It's complaints about ice time. It's complaints about line changes. Does everyone just forget how many line combinations John Tortorella used to have, and how often he changed them? They would change every game. Same with AV. Same with David Quinn. Guess what? Coaches change lines. They mix things up.
I don't see that much.
But it's just it's the same bitching. It's the same thing, same people, same things about each coach. Under AV, the defense was terrible. Under Torts, they didn't like the line combinations. They didn't like the power play. They didn't like the penalty killing. They didn't like this. They didn't like. It's the same.
You're never gonna satisfy these people,
right?
It's just, and I'm not saying they don't have valid points, but just to fire and keep firing. I mean, we've done this show 10 years or so, maybe more. I mean, and like Jim said, I've seen every hair trigger reaction by Ranger fans. Just got to calm down. Now, if they drop 6, 7, 8 in a row, then maybe get your dander up and you get in there and say, well, maybe this guy is the right thing. You see Adam Fox, progression, nothing. You see Kako is just moping around the ice. Maybe then there's something. But for this point in the Ranger evolution, where are you going to – what coach is going to come in here and make it all good?
What are you going to do, dig up is he still alive? Is the cat still alive?
Emil Kratz is still alive and well.
Yes.
Yeah, if you go back into the time machine and grab him in his prime and he comes here, he's going to make a fucking difference?
No. Speaking of talking about going back in time, did you guys see that interview with Wayne Gretzky that he said that he would never be able to score as many goals now as he would have done in the 80s?
Yeah, I put that in.
You saw that. That's very good. It was a good pickup. And I totally agree with him because, first of all, the goaltender's equipment is pretty outrageous.
And just the talent is just that much better now.
That's exactly right.
Like, what's his name mentioned that at one of the viewing parties. I asked him, Duguay. He says, yeah, these guys are like in the gym. They're fucking. These guys are
grooms
fucking.
They're 2 years old. They got trainers at 2 years old, 3 years old, skating lessons, and the rest. All fit. Used to drink in the off season. Now they train in the off season. What do you think, Jim? You seem to be chomping at the bit here.
All I'll say is Punch Imlach couldn't have coached these guys to be much better than they are. People just you got to be patient. Everybody said when they sent this letter out, oh great, we're going to rebuild. It's going to be great. It's going to be, got to be patient. We've been saying the same thing for 21 months now, or I guess actually we're coming up on almost 2 years since the letter.
Right.
These things take years. You want to be like, you want to build like Tampa Bay did in Chicago and LA and the more success, Boston. You want to be like, that takes years. That doesn't happen in 2 years.
Right. Yep.
It takes years.
Yeah.
I think the Ranger fan is disheartened by the fact that Elias Anderson turned out to be a zero.
Well, if you didn't want to be disheartened, you should have picked another team because that's all this team is disheartenment. Is that a word? Disheartenment?
No, but yeah, it could be. And now they see Kako is struggling, and they're getting very upset. And I know the hockey fan, especially the Ranger fan, is an emotional animal. We are ruled by our emotions. It's mostly anger and despair that we delve into.
Disheartenment is indeed a word. I looked it up.
Wow. Well, disheartenment is also a part of being a Ranger fan. And if you're not prepared, you're rooting for the wrong team, as Jim said.
Right.
Nothing comes easy with this team. And if you thought a rebuild was going to take a year, now I thought getting Panarin and Trouba is a good deal because they're young. They're in their prime. In 2 years, they're still going to be in their prime. So it's a good deal. But I think, as Costa said, some Ranger fans took that as, oh, we're going to be good.
We've arrived.
We've arrived. We're good and we're young. No. Let's be thankful that Artemi Panarin is a legitimate stud. New York hasn't gotten to him.
He came as advertised.
How many times have we seen that since we Ranger fans?
You can count him on one hand.
Exactly. You can count him on one hand. He's legit. There's no bones about it. He's one of the top players in this league. And they got him for what? The next 6-7 years?
Yep.
So
and look how many players we got and we fucking fleeced the other team. Zibanejad, we fleeced Ottawa. Strome, we fleeced the Oilers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
there's some good things coming.
Yeah.
You know that
now let's get to some more important shit.
Okay.
I said this many times, and I'm going to say this again. There's no reason you can't give Ryan Strome 5 years, $5.5 million a season. I think that's a very fair deal for this guy.
Well,
would you agree or disagree?
Well, first of all, I'm shocked that you actually want to shell out money for anybody.
Right.
Since you're basically, you don't want.
Because here's the thing, and I looked this up. We're going to have about $15.7 million cap space, which is going to go up because the cap's going to go up next season. So figure $17.7 million in cap space, and that counts all the dead cap space too. Okay.
All right.
If you give Strome $5.5 million, okay. Now the big problem is going to be fucking D'Angelo. D'Angelo's going to get paid. He's going to wants to get paid. And the only
what's that Trump money?
What?
I'm only kidding.
Well, anyways, yeah. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? If we win a cup and he's on the team, no one's going to care that he's a Trump supporter. Nobody's going to give a fuck.
I don't care.
Shouldn't care anyway.
Exactly.
I said 1,000 times.
Shouldn't care anyway.
I don't care.
I don't care. I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care. Are these people that do care? This is all I'll say. These people that do care, like these people that go nuts on Twitter and all this other bullshit, are they honestly that fucking stupid that they think that Tony D'Angelo is the only Republican on the team? There's 20 guys on the team.
Yeah.
The odds are they're not all Democrats. Sorry to disappoint you.
Especially athletes.
I mean, granted, some of them aren't U.S. citizens, so they probably don't even have a political party, but I'm sure that whatever political party they're affiliated, I'm sure some of them have right, they lean to the right when it comes to their politics.
Right.
But these fucking morons are so stupid. Anyway, go ahead. As you were.
Okay.
Continue.
So that's gonna take us down to about 12.2 mil. Now again, like I said, D'Angelo's wants to get paid.
Yeah.
Now my and
D'Angelo.
I'm gonna lump in Rubio too. I said to keep this might be not a good idea, but you might have to make a long-term commitment to these two guys. You might because remember they're on they're going to be arbitration eligible this offseason, I think, both of them. And I think what's his name too? I think Georgiev too is going to be or no. But anyways, even if he is,
Georgiev is gone.
You think so?
What? Did you miss the first segment of this whole show? We just
Sorry.
said they brought up Shesterkin.
So
we talked to Matt Brown about Shesterkin. Is
somebody be under the weather? Maybe, possibly.
All right, hey.
Anyway,
right, I hope you feel better there, champ.
Anyways, like I said, you might have to make a long-term deal with these two guys, and maybe you're gonna have to backload the contracts. You know what I'm saying? You might have to, because remember, the end of next season, you got what? Fucking almost 20 mil coming off the cap, coming off the books.
Free at last.
Lundqvist.
Free at last here at WNEW.
Like I said, Lundqvist, Stolen, and Smith are off the books. You could pay those. You could pay those guys going forward. You may have to stroke their egos a little bit. Those two guys, but again, like I said, if you want to, you might have to keep them long term. To keep them, you might have to pay them.
This is the way I feel right now. Right now, what's today's date? The 6th.
6th of January.
6th, 2020. I feel that I don't give a shit if they lose Strome or D'Angelo. I don't care. I don't think Strome is integral to the Rangers' future. I think Tony D'Angelo is good, but I don't think he's ever going to be something crazy. He's a liability in his own zone. But that comes with being a scorer.
Yep.
So to me, are they going to be part of the Rangers' future? I don't know. I'm just not like, I'm not going to move hell and high water to get these guys signed long term.
But if you could keep Strome at a reasonable rate, are you going to say?
Yeah, I would turn that down.
Get him out of here. Get this bum out of here. No.
I mean, he's still.
I'll tell you this.
25.
I'll tell you this. If you put a gun to my head, I'd rather keep Strome than Kreider. Am I right? Would you if you had to
Kreider, you can get something for. I don't know.
Exactly. If it's Strome, you could probably get something for Strome if he keeps playing this
You know what? Enough of this conjecture. I don't want conjecture anymore. Let's deal in reality. Because half the scenarios we made up are never even going to come up. Backloading and front loading and caps going up, it's going down. People with the money. I'm only kidding. I enjoy the banter back and forth.
Right.
All right, Costa. I'm punching out.
You're punching out, Maverick.
I'm punching out, Maverick.
All right. I'll see you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Oh,
Bye,
by the
Costa.
way, Costa,
Nope.
before you hang up there, we're throwing around a date for getting the band back together.
Ooh.
I knew it.
There's rumors. There's rumors.
I have the dates all typed up. The dates when the next party's gonna be.
Oh, he lives for these parties.
I
man.
told you I had to throw it out there.
This is wrestling conventions are the only reasons he leaves the house.
I'll tell you now. He comes to the Idiot Box show.
Yeah,
Right,
everyone.
Yeah, come
One.
to those shows.
Everyone but one. And he's been a fantastic supporter of everything that I've done. I consider that man a friend.
You've both done for that matter.
Yes. Thank you. All right, Costa.
All right. I'm punching out Maverick.
Bye. One more call, I guess, before we're done.
Okay.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, fellas, how are you?
Mike Halleck.
How are you guys?
Where are you?
I'm at an ice cream shop, actually.
20 degrees out. He's out getting ice cream. Where you at? He's at Baskin Robbins.
No Baskin Robbins. Hate that.
Carvel?
Nah, at a place in Howell, New Jersey called Shivers.
Oh,
I was just talking to one of the guys about you guys.
Oh, all right.
Is he a Ranger fan?
Is he a Ranger
Hey,
fan?
you a hockey fan? A little bit. What team? Oh, look. He's a Ranger
there you
fan.
go.
What's his name, man? Evan. His name is Evan.
All right.
My buddy
What's up,
Jim.
Evan?
Evan, this is Jim. He's a host of Blueshirt Underground show. That's Jim. You can't see Eddie. He's on the other end. That's Evan.
What's up, Evan?
See? I promote
can't
you all
you
the
see
time,
Eddie?
guys.
Why can't you see Eddie?
I only see you, Jim,
That's weird.
but I can hear Eddie.
Wow. Okay. That's
It's all good.
I don't look so
All right.
hot anyway today.
Well, neither do I.
Yeah, with his new setup, it's great. He's got the light going. You're missing out. It's visually stirring. It's like Avatar.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it's quite a show.
Right.
So he's a little bit of a Ranger fan, which is good.
Yeah, he's a young
Right
kid
now.
too. Young kid too.
Yeah. Right now, it's good to be a little bit of a Ranger fan. Later, you get into it when they get good.
Right.
Yeah.
Why
So
suffer?
you can experience
Yeah, I can't
Trooper's
get
heart.
I can't get over Costa being the cap cruncher for this team.
He's the capologist.
Capologist, that's the name. Thank you.
I'm amazed that he wants to pay for anybody.
He's the Bob Cratchit of the show.
Yeah,
Keeps cracking the books.
I was cracking up on the way over here, listening to him about that. It's first thought out of my mind. He don't want to pay anything, so why would he want to shell money out? So
He likes that Ryan Strome. He likes him some Ryan. He loves the trade. The fact that the Rangers fleeced the Oilers.
yeah.
Well, he's all about. He likes getting something for nothing.
Yes.
He likes a bargain.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
He likes a good bargain.
Oh yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Shesterkin being...
I'm excited. I when I first saw it, I found a picture of him, and I got a few friends on my Facebook friends list who are Devils fans, including my cousin, and a friend of mine's an Islander fan who I was hoping they would see it.
You need better friends.
Yeah, I don't talk to him. He used to work with me, so not anymore. But pretty excited and hoping that it's the beginning of the Czars taking over. But obviously it's not going to happen right away. But I like to see what he's going to do against a good team.
Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah.
Be thrown right
Yeah, he
into
gets
the
the
mix.
start. Hold on a second.
See if he can wait 5 minutes before he gives up a goal.
They got my ice cream.
Nice.
Get a pint of chocolate chip cookie dough over here.
Nah, just a couple small vanilla soft serves. So I'm getting the light so you guys can see me. Sorry.
Gotta hurry home.
Yeah. It's like 30 degrees out here, so I don't think it'll melt. So I ain't worried.
Did you see that Keurig is making a soft serve ice cream like the coffee maker, like the size of that?
Really?
No, I
I
didn't.
will never leave the house.
My aunt gave us one for our wedding, and we never used it. And I always heard, the Keurig. My wife is not into it, neither am I. I always heard the C word was involved in it, which would be cancer. So I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, I don't. I just brew my own pot of good old Wawa coffee here in New Jersey, which is probably the best, and that's all I need.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, don't quote me on that. My wife and I.
Listen, hey, everybody's got their ways of life. That's fine.
Yeah.
Jim, you have any questions for Mike?
No, you already asked him what he thinks of Shesterkin. Any other thoughts on what's going on? You keeping Strome? You trading Strome? You keeping Kreider?
I would definitely keep him. I don't I think you guys said it last time. I can never say his name right. Georgiev, whatever the hell his name is. I don't see why you trade him because I don't think you can get anything for him. You're going to get minimum. You know, I think Eddie. I think Jim, you said it. He's not a number one starter in the league. He just happens to be playing better than Baba Shampooey or Baba Kung Fooey, as I said earlier. No reason to make any drastic moves. If somebody comes with a nice offer, definitely trade Kreider. That's a definite. There really is no reason to ship. But I do want to see because he tore up the KHL and he tore up the AHL. I'd like to see him in the Ranger uniform at Madison Square Garden or even on the road too and see how Igor plays and get a look at what we have to have coming our way in the future.
Yeah. I'm anticipating and seeing what he's all about, like his style and all this stuff.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I do like the fact that he's playing a good team in Colorado. Good players on that team. He's not playing like the Devils or any other low-end team, that he can get an easy win. Like if he gets and plays well here, that's a good sign, in my opinion.
Mike,
I'm anxious to see how he recovers after the Avalanche score a minute and a half into the game.
Here we go. Mike, what's your view on paper straws? Mario Morgado wants to know.
I usually don't use a straw. If I'm drinking at a restaurant, I drink out of the glass. So.
Okay. All right. Well.
All
right, Mike. Well,
we've covered it all.
Wrap things up.
All right, guys. Enjoy
Thank
it.
you so
Happy
much
New Year. By the way, Jim, congratulations on the engagement.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned that.
Yeah, I haven't been trying. I'm trying to get in on that to see you guys before. And I think I posted in the group. Is the next viewing party an engagement party?
No.
Really?
Do you think that these lovely people would want these eccentric people and a serious
and Costa, if you're listening, no coffee pot, okay, for a wedding gift, all right?
Yes.
We got a Keurig.
Oh, no.
Keep using it. Don't listen to what I said, but that's just my feeling.
Hot chocolate in it, coffee, whatever you want.
All right, Mike. Take care. Happy New Year, brother.
Guys. Happy New Year, guys. Happy holidays.
Later,
See you
Mike.
guys soon. All right.
See ya.
See ya.
Commercial for Shivers Ice Cream. Why do they sponsor the show?
Shivers Ice. Shiver me
Shivers Ice-
timbers.
Shiver me timbers.
There you go. Well, another show is in the books there, Jim.
We've said it all.
We've said it all. We did it all. We succeeded where others have failed. And the next time we join these fine people, we will have taken a good look at the Tsar, Igor Shesterkin.
Yes.
And then he'll get blown out. And then Ranger fans will say, they brought him up too early.
Right.
They ruined the kid.
He stinks. This defense is terrible.
Another wasted draft pick.
Right. Another bust.
Yeah. Yep. Hysteria.
He's the next Al Montoya.
Bring up Huska.
Yeah, that'll be next. Bring up Huska.
The kid's big.
So I guess we'll come back Tuesday next week, which will give us 4 games to chew on, including one Islander game.
Yeah, unless something crazy comes up in the interim. Yeah, that sounds good. Next Tuesday.
All right. Cue the music. All right, that'll wrap it up. Thanks to everybody for being here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We will see you next Tuesday night. See if Tsar Igor can get this going. If you want to sponsor the show on Patreon, you can do so. www.patreon.com/Blueshirt Underground Radio. You see it at the bottom of the screen there. Eddie, always a pleasure.
Fantastico, once again.
It's too loud. I got to fix that. All right. We will see you guys next week. We love you. Take care. Enjoy your week. Get out, everybody.